We have made it in the sense that we're here. We've come through Advent. We've arrived with Mary and Joseph. Here we are at midnight in the bright stable of our church, ready to worship the child. Perhaps we're just in from our work, like the shepherds, not shown the way by angels directly, but thanks perhaps to the Mass times given in the bulletin or on the website or by friends. Well, what strikes me year after year is how God, as it were, slips in under the radar, how simply, quietly, surreptitiously he comes like a thief in the night, to use his own comparison. And I think tonight's gospel evokes this wonderfully. It opens with Caesar Augustus and his census. It opens with this Colossus, the most powerful man of the day, the first of the long line of Roman emperors. Here's the machinery of government at work, a major act of administration, a census of property holders. Here are local functionaries like Quirinius, suddenly loaded with a huge added workload. Here are ordinary citizens having to present themselves before officials to register. Many, like Joseph, having to make quite a journey to do so, and all in the end to pay up. I think it was Benjamin Franklin who said there are only two things one can be certain of in life: death and taxes. But here, even in a little place like Bethlehem, is all this swirling activity. Had there been televisions and newspapers, how full they would have been of it. Here's a hotelier, an innkeeper, run off his feet, glad at the trade, no doubt, but how will the kitchen cope? And out on the hills are shepherds doing their usual, looking after sheep, swapping stories around the fire. Here's the world, really, in its usual colours, a mix of disturbance and routine, excitement and boredom, money and worry, with the odd surprising joy or random tragedy. Well, here's life really, as it always is. And in the midst of all this, a weary couple are finding their way to a cave in the hillside used for keeping animals, and a woman is having a baby in the hay. And this is the way God enters the world. No fuss, as a baby, needing care, needing love, in such circumstances, a baby who doesn't do anything unusual, but just babies on, as it were. Here he is, the firstborn of all creatures. Here he is, the still center of the turning world, the mustard seed, the smallest of all the seeds, the treasure hidden in the field of time. Here he is, as an old Welsh poem has it, tiny Colossus, strong, mighty, frail, of pale cheeks, wealthy and needy, our Father and brother, author of judgments, lowly and lofty, Emmanuel, honey for our hearts. It is all so hidden, so under wraps and swaddling clothes that only faith can see it. Without that light, we will never acknowledge the mystery. So there enter the angels and the glory round them. Today a Saviour has been born to you. And here in this church, we have the torches of prophets, Isaiah, and apostles, Paul, and evangelist Luke, to escort us to Bethlehem. Here is the bright flame of the creed to shine on the face of this child. Here are the words and signs of the liturgy to kindle our heart to faith, to open our eyes in the dark of our self-absorption. And year after year, it happens, I think. It works. Year after year, the flickering flame of our faith is rekindled. We make our way, mysteriously drawn, past the pub, through the slush, and into the stable. And we enter a circle of light and warmth, radiant with the splendor of the true light. And we've stumbled on the center of the world. Here is the secret furnace of the Father's love. Here is the hidden hearth, the place where God was homeless and all men are at home. For in the mystery of the Word made flesh, as the preface will say, a new light of your glory has shone upon the eyes of our mind. God's grace has been revealed, and the people that walked in darkness has seen a great light. And we really do feel God is here. We've seen him. We touch him. We taste him. Honey for our heart. After this, after adoration, after asking forgiveness for losing the plot again and again, I think there's only one thing left for us to really bother about. After relighting our lamp, there is only one thing left to be. There is only one grace to ask for. It is to carry on God's hidden work, to be children of light in turn and pass the flame on. One night, at the heart of that ancient Rome-ruled world, on the edge of a Palestinian village, with mankind at that particular stage of its development, a light was lit. And now it is ours. Now it's in us or it's nowhere. And we are in our own particular time and place, with our Caesars and censuses, excitements and boredom. Faith is not a light, said Pope Francis, which scatters all our darkness, but a lamp which guides our steps in the night and suffices for the journey. And that's enough. It was enough for the shepherds to find the stable. So let us use it. Use it against the darkness in our own hearts. Use it to help others on their journeys through the night. Use it to get the architecture of our relationships right. Use it to create new circles and centers of light and warmth, family and friendship, homes and parishes and communities where we can breathe and hope and pray and feel human again. New Bethlehems, new Nazareths. Stay with me, Jesus, goes a prayer of Blessed John Henry Newman, a prayer to Jesus, the light of the soul. Stay with me, and then I shall begin to shine as you shine, to shine so as to be a light to others. The light, O Jesus, will be all from you. It will be you who shine through me on others. Give light to them as well as me. Light them with me, through me. Teach me to show forth your praise, your truth, your will. Make me preach you without preaching, not by words, but by my example and by the catching force, the sympathetic influence of what I do, by the evident fullness of love my heart bears for you. Well, if that prayer were verified in us, then Christmas won't be something we take out of a box once a year, but something that undergirds and inspires our whole life.